Site selection by Rayanne Castile. Types of locations: you have isolated store, unplanned business district, and planned shopping centers, and I will explain on the next slide. Isolated store: this is a freestanding retail outlet located on either a highway or a street. Basically, they had to decide what side of the road that they would put the store. There is no adjacent retailers that shares the traffic. An advantage to this is with locations, there is no competition in close proximity. There is flexibility, no group rules affect operations, better road and traffic visibility is possible, easy parking can be arranged, better road and traffic rental costs are relatively low. Unplanned business district. This is the type of retail location where there's two or more stores situated together. You have secondary business district, neighborhood business district, a string, a central business district, basically meaning like downtown, like in Moultrie, we have the square. Planned shopping center. This consists of a group of architecturally unified commercial establishments on a site that is centrally. And again, an example would be the square in Moultrie or downtown Thomasville. Different shopping centers: you have regional shopping center and a community shopping center. With the regional shopping center, there's a total site with nothing really less than 40 acres, but it can be more than 100. Top square feet is 400,000 to 2 million. Principal determinant is 1, 2, or more full-size department stores. With the community shopping centers, it's several small stores together, kind of like a mini strip or mini mall. Shopping centers: you have a mega mall, which is an enormous shopping center. I guess you could use like the biggest mall in Los Angeles, California, and then there's also one in Texas. Power center is half a dozen or so category killer stores. So these would be like your major hitter stores all in one little strip. The choice of a general location: you have to choose a street and a side of the road or a highway to determine where your retailer is going to be located. You can do it depends on the firm's strategy and careful evaluation, and then you also have to look at the advantages and disadvantages of each alternative. Location and site evaluation. This is really determined by pedestrian traffic and vehicular traffic. You have to determine how many people are going to be coming through. Is this a good area to put where there's not going to be any injuries? The vehicular traffic, you want to make sure that your customers have somewhere to park and it's going to be enough space for them to be able to park. This is a continuum of location and site. You have parking facilities and transportation. Parking facilities, you want to make sure there's your number and quality of parking spots, the distance to the store and the parking. You don't want somebody to have to walk 5 miles just to get to the store. Availability of employee parking. You also want your employees to be close to the area but not take up all the parking spots to where the customers can't have somewhere to park. Transportation. Availability of mass transit, access for major highways, and ease of deliveries. You want to make sure that even if you have like just say like a golf cart extended, you want to make sure that they're able to get the customers to the store safely and it be easy to get on and get off and not have to cross from a major interstate just to get to the store. Specific site. When selecting the specific site, It depends on visibility, the placement in the location, size, and shape of the light. You want to make sure that there's enough room, space, and you're not going to be cutting off from another company and or putting anyone in danger. Trying to make it smaller when it needs to be larger. Terms of occupancy, ownership versus leasing, the type of lease, operations and maintenance costs, taxes, zoning restrictions, and voluntary regulations. Every aspect has to be evaluated. All these are very much so important because you have to make sure that everything is going to be precise to whenever you're trying to determine the location of your building. Ownership versus leasing. What is the difference? Are you going to rent it? Are you going to buy it? Types of leasing, you have straight lease. A retailer pays a fixed dollar amount per month over the life of the lease. Then you also have a percentage lease, which stipulates that rent is related to sales or profits. And with the straight lease, it is determined by every square foot. So you could have like $25 every square foot, and that's going to be the rent. The percentage lease, this is to protect the property owner against inflation and lets its benefit if the store is successful. Then you have your graduate lease, precise rent increase over a stated period of time, maintenance increase, recumbent lease, provision allowing rent to increase if a property owner's taxes, heating bills, insurance, or other expenses rise beyond a certain point. Other considerations, you have to include cost of operations and maintenance. You have to know, take into consideration how much it's going to cost for repairs and everything in your building. Overall rating, you have to compute all of the overall ratings, making sure that you're able to pay rent, maintenance, repairs, utilities, taxes, everything. You want to be able to make sure you're able to handle it and use it. And I use my textbook and Bing for my images. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something new. And again, my presentation was over site location and it was by Rayanne Castile.